Okay, to see what the meaning of the integral would be, we, this board, hang on, okay. Out of the way now. Okay, the meaning of the integral, the values of x go from 1 to 4, right? So we can say that 0 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 4. Okay? What about the values of y? Well, you integrate in respect to y here, the values of y go from 1 to x, right? So 1 is less than or equal to y is less than or equal to x, right? Okay? Now what in the world does that mean? In the plane, let's just say we got the xy plane here. Okay? X values go from 0 to 4, right? Okay, well, that would correspond then to part of the x-axis that goes from 0 to 4. Okay? What does y do? Well, for any value of x, okay, this is any value of x, y goes from 1 to x. Okay, so all your values of x lie on this vertical line, okay? But the specific range of x values is from, of what? I'm sorry, all your points with this specific value of x lie on this line, okay? The points that correspond to this integral lie between y value 1 and y value x, right? Well, here's where y equals 1, okay? So your values within the region that we're going to get here start at 1 and go up to x, okay? Now, we've got a little bit of a problem, but we're going to get around it. If this x isn't exactly 1, I mean isn't greater than 1, then you're not going to have any y values. Okay? Now, this x looks like it's bigger than 1 because 2 would cut this interval in half, and you cut that in half, you're about here. There's about 1, right? This x value is bigger than 1. So if we take this x value and put it up here, actually I put 1 a little bit too high if I want to have equal spacing, but I'm not going to change that. Let's just say this x value here there's a little arrow of length x, right? You put that arrow up here, and you come over here, and here are the values of y for that particular x that are within this region. Okay? So here are the values of y that are within the region. Now, if x gets to be a little less, well, here's another value of x, and let's just say this is x equals 1, okay? Then this is the point where y equals 1, okay? So the point where y equals 1 would be in the region, right? If x is 1, then y equals 1 is between, well, it's less than or equal to 1, greater than or equal to 1, less than or equal to 1, so it's here. Okay? Now by the time you get out to y equals 4, you would have another arrow here of 4 units, right? So now x could be 4. And you do an arrow 4 units long up here. And now all the y values between 1 and 4 would be within the region. Okay? For x equals 4, y values go from 1 to 4. Okay? Now for x values between 1 and 4, you could have blue arrows of, if you're starting at 1 going to 4, your blue arrows get longer and longer, right? Indicating the value of x, so that y gets to go further and further. So you're going to have y values that basically then do this, okay? So if you fill this in for all possible values of x, you get all these ranges of y values that go from 1 to x. The y is never less than 1 because it has to be there. And it stops at whatever x is. As x gets bigger, the range of y values gets bigger. Does that make sense? Okay?